What is going on? What is going on? I'm doing these informational, so I'm going to start out. The origin of the Licking River comes out of Magoffin, I don't know. Fuck Bariah Magoffin. He's an asshole. So your all's namesake, the person who actually Magoffin County is named after, is a dick. He's a prick, a Confederate piece of shit. You're on the wrong side of history. Sorry, Bariah Magoffin. You don't deserve a name, a county in your name. So the origin of the Licking River comes from Magoffin County. I almost want to say, is that where? No, it couldn't be. I think it is. I think Larry Flint is from Magoffin County. So that's one of the things that I know about Magoffin County. Larry Flint. And then there's a vote buying scheme. There's a vote rigging, and then there's also some other things too, right? The murder. Someone just got killed. So the origin of the Licking River, the Fighting Hornets, the Licking River eventually separates Newport and Covington. That's why we have three or four cities in northern Kentucky. But Covington, Newport, pretty much the same area, but there's a Licking River that separates them. So, like, no, they don't even talk to each other. But Newport? No, not in Newport. Maybe Covington, but not Newport. I don't know. Vote buying scheme. All right, let's try to figure out what's going on. The Kentucky Court of Appeals will hear arguments in the 2014 Magoffin County Judge Executive. So the Kentucky Court of Appeals will hear arguments concerning the 2014 Magoffin County election for Judge Executive. The hearing is scheduled for Tuesday in Frankfort. It's April 10th. WKYT.com. Circuit Judge John David Preston, written by nobody, ruled in February results in the county needed to be thrown out due to election violations and declared the seat vacant. Incumbent Charles Doc Harden had been serving after winning the disputed election by 28 votes over challenging John Montgomery. So they're saying this guy's been in there forever and had turned out to win, but there's been some people that have been, I guess, buying votes. And someone who didn't have money had some money, and they was like, where'd you get that money? And he was like, it's election day. And then there was another person that said that they were offered $50 to go vote. And so clearly, right, something's going on. And I heard that at first, Doc Harden had lost by 3, and then he came back and wound up winning by 3. Another thing that Magoffin County, the unemployment rate, everybody in Kentucky is doing wonderful. If you look at the unemployment rate, only 4%, right? In Oldham County, 4%. Woodford County, 3.5%. Scott County, 4.1%. But Magoffin County, my God, 14.7%. And that's just what they tell you, because that doesn't cover everybody. It covers actually very little, just only those who are able to work, right? So no old people are included in that number. A whole bunch of disabled people who don't want to work. So that's actually, I would estimate, on the low side of it. So 15% at least. And 7%, once it gets past 7%, that's when unemployment is bad for economics, right? You want everybody employed, because without a job, you can't live. You can't survive. But 14 for 7, that's ridiculous. It's 15% unemployment rate, of which they're telling you. So that's in addition, right, to the vote rigging thing. I was looking at the elected officials. Charles Harden, MD, is listed as the judge executive, and then you have Carson Montgomery, and John Montgomery was the challenger, so I'm wondering if there's some relationship there. So that's according to the website, right, still Charles Harden, and they said that he has been running as the judge executive the entire time. And so once the court case comes down, he's been in office making decisions, right? So he took the office. That's ultimately who wins. He was able to outmuscle the other person. But the court, I mean, you really have to have some solid evidence. The court will have to totally throw this thing out if they can't prove their case, and that's unfortunate, because it seems like there's definitely some shenanigans going on. Maybe a re-election, have another election, only this time without the vote rigging. Salyersville is the capital. The Battle of Salyersville was one of the largest of many skirmishes in Magoffin County during the American Civil War. Something happened and some more things happened. a crash had killed a stem-ball man. So I got a lot of different articles that's written up here, but I did notice, like, the wiretap supplied evidence against Magoffin County construction firm. One of the biggest things of corruption was in Morgan County. The judge executive was taking the bids from this construction company, taking money from them, and then when nobody was looking, making sure they had the lowest bid, and then they would get all these projects, and they would make money by doing that. And that, I mean, that kind of sucks. They had to construct some things, right? They had to do it cheaper than everybody else. And but that's not fair. Everybody has a free market. Anybody should have an equal access in order to get their bids heard. And they said that they were wiretapped for 60 days. They had been wiretapped, and so therefore that's how they got it. They said they didn't know if it was Gamble's telephone or the Morgan County Judge Executive Tim Conley's telephone that was wiretapped. But the information did come from a 60-day wiretap phone. And while this ties into Magoffin County, is that the construction people were of Sawyersville. They're from Magoffin County. So that's something else that's going in there, right? The construction company seems to be corrupt. This election officials, nobody seems to be running this election thing, properly, fairly, free and fair elections. That's what Kentucky's Constitution guarantees us, to have free and fair elections. Well, don't stop the plug-in. I feel like the plug-in is what I am recording. Maybe if I hit the stop recording, maybe we'll try that.